再次感谢美国国色天香旗袍艺术中心。那么现在，请我们街舞的演员们做准备，快速到台前来，谢谢。
Up next is a hip-hop performance by Jesse and Peter. They will be performing the iconic Bye 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 routine and song by NSYNC. If you're a fan of Deadpool and Wolverine, you will also recognize this trending dance. If you like energy and groove, make some noise for the boys.
Baby, bye, bye, bye. Don't wanna be a fool for you. Just another player in your game for two. You may hate me, but it ain't no lie. Baby, bye, bye, bye. Don't really wanna make it tough. I just wanna tell you that I had enough. It might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie. Baby, bye, bye, bye. Just hit me with the truth. Girl, you're more than welcome to. So give me one good reason, baby, come on. I live for you and me, and now I really come to see that life would be much better once you're gone. I know that I can't take no more, it ain't no lie. I wanna see you out that door, baby, bye, bye, bye. Be a fool for you. Just another player in your game for two. You may hate me, but it ain't no lie. Baby, bye, bye, bye. Don't really wanna make it tough. I just wanna tell you that I had enough. Ooh, might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie. Baby, bye, bye, bye. I'm giving up, I know for sure. I don't wanna be the reason for your love no more. I'm signing off. I don't wanna be the loser and I've had enough. I don't wanna be your fool in this game for two. So I'm leaving you behind. Bye, bye, bye. Make it tough. Make it tough. Ain't love, but ain't no lie. Bye, bye. Be a fool for you.
Alright, everybody， 我们现在先来欣赏一段时装表演 Fashion Show。来，麻烦我们的音乐老师快速准备一下我们的音乐，调节一下。给大家简单的介绍一下 DJM3 艺术教育，专注于模特、舞蹈和绘画的高端综艺艺术培训机构，致力于培养未来的艺术精英。他们以强大的品牌实力和专业背书，吸引了众多热爱艺术的学员。由专业师资团队经验丰富，确保每位学员都能获得行业内最前沿的指导和训练。下面是精英班 Elite 的学员们带来的礼服表演，大家掌声鼓励他们。
of me fondly when we've said goodbye. Remember me once in a while, please promise me you'll try. When you find that once again you long to take your hand and be free, if you ever find a moment, spare a thought for me. We never said our love was evergreen or wasn't changing as the sea. But if you can still remember, stop and think of me. Think of all the things we've shared and seen. Don't think about the way things might have been. Think of me waking silent and resigned. Imagine me trying too hard to put you from my mind. Recall those days, look back on all those times. Think of the things we'll never do. There will never be a day when I won't think of you. Flowers fade, the fruits of summer fade. They have their seasons, so do we. But please promise me that sometimes you will think. Think of me fondly when we've said goodbye. Remember me once in a while, please promise me you'll try. When you find that once again you
非常
long
感谢，
to
掌
take
声再次送给 DJ M3 的朋友们 ，Thank you。
If you ever find a moment, spare.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to have a group picture together. Please come on up to the front if your name is mentioned.
好，有请中国驻洛杉矶总领馆黄洪江副总领事、领侨处王琦主任、美国飞虎队传播协会于清主席。
Welcome Honorable Congresswoman Judy Chu， 欢迎加州参议员 Honorable Bob Archuleta， 欢迎 State Assemblyman Mike Fong， 欢迎美中航空遗产基金会主席 Jeff Greening， 欢迎南加州众议员伍国庆先生，欢迎飞虎老兵 Mel McMullen and family， 欢迎美国退伍军人协会加州指挥官 State Commander Nick Rosa and team. That's about 20 people. 欢迎好莱坞导演 Richard Anderson， 欢迎美国交通部资深顾问张曼君，欢迎著名导演陈国平，欢迎爱国领袖张素九大姐，欢迎林达坚主席。Welcome Los Angeles County Supervisor Catherine Burgers Representatives Miss Jeremy Wu 吴中国先生。Welcome Arcadia Mayor Honorable Mike Gao， 欢迎圣盖博 St. Gabriel's Vice Mayor Denise Manchaca。Welcome to the front。
好，我们接下来呢还要有请乔丽。
Also, welcome Compton School Police Department Chief of Police William Wu. Welcome Honorable George Herrera.
好，接下来呢还要有请乔玲、张勇、陆强、何畅元、李静、翁丽萍、江丰年、赵玲、许成武、林连连、于中霞、赵红艳、北澳、方磊、魏凌峰、徐荣祥基金会代表卢伟熙、乌素斐、米歇尔郭、米歇尔吴、Leslie Jin、Rachel、Coco、菲菲、冯玉琪、刘申忠律师、北美高校联合会主席陈真和理事长彭曙辉、陈杰、张立安、赵坚、马俊、孙伟、周晓松老师。
同时，我们欢迎张倩、朱莉、唐静、Jack Shaw、菲菲、Jack Wang、王毅、赵红、徐和生、段段、程程、何宁宁、李永元、伊望公、Sherry 杨、安娜殷、Fiona Liu、Claire Wang。欢迎黄爱老师，欢迎美国 Finview 婚恋机构的白老师等所有会员们一起上台拍合影。同时，我们也欢迎我们所有的表演团体和小朋友们上台。
来，我们台上还可以站两排，请大家都可以上台一起合影。
If you are a performer of today, please come on up to the stage for group picture. Thank you. 来，我们台上的朋友 shoulder by shoulder 一起站好，我们一起看向前方的记者朋友们，谢谢大家。来，我们这样能站得下吗？ Color Guard, may I welcome you to come on up to the stage? May I welcome all the color guards to come join us, please? 咱们台上可以站两排，个儿高的朋友垫垫脚，谢谢。 please be seated。谢谢大家的配合，麻烦我们的工作人员们快速的把椅子摆齐，谢谢。
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our event commemorating the 82nd anniversary of the opening of the Hump Route, one of the most heroic chapters in human history. 尊敬的各位来宾、女士们、先生们，亲爱的朋友们，大家晚上好！欢迎各位光临纪念飞越世界屋脊驼峰航线82周年论坛。我是主持人张军律师。首先，我要感谢组委会的于青主席给我配备了3名洛杉矶最美女主持人。我觉得今天洛杉矶的最美女主持人都在现场了，啊，请允许我们一一介绍啊，同意的请鼓掌。啊，这位是美丽的 Lily 方磊女士。
大家好，我是金国会会长方磊。
这也是美丽的 Olivia 李佳碧小姐，她同时也是 Prefer Bank 的 AVP。
大家好，我是宝丰银行的助理副总裁 Olivia。
还有美丽的、非常年轻的 Christina。
大家好，我叫 Christina Tong。
82年前，飞虎队的英雄飞行员们克服了极其危险的自然环境，将抗战的军需物资从印度空运到中国。他们的勇气胆识不仅改变了历史的进程，也成为中美合作与友谊的象征，是2战历史中的重要篇幅。驼峰航线这条空中大动脉不仅是盟军的重要生命线，也是人类不屈不挠的精神象征。它见证了在全球危机时刻，美中两国共同努力的伟大篇章。
Their courage and skill not only changed the course of history, but also became a symbol of China-U.S. cooperation and friendship during World War II. 而今天，当我们回顾这段非凡的历史，我们要向所有为此做出贡献的人致以最崇高的敬意，铭记他们的牺牲与奉献。
This airlift, known as the Hump Route, was not only a lifeline for the Allied forces, but it also demonstrated the incredible resilience of the human spirit. Today, as we reflect on this extraordinary journey, we honor the memories of those who made it possible and the sacrifices they made.
请全体起立，有请护旗仪仗队入场。
Today's presentation of the colors of a nation will be conducted by Marine Corps League PFC Eugene O'Brien, Detachment 1347 of East Los Angeles. This is a moment of respect, so we ask everybody please stand, maintain silence as the color guards make their entrance.
Thank you. Now, everyone, please remain standing for the national anthem. Welcome, Adiora Grandel.
有请子慧为我们演唱美国国歌。
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Everyone, please remain standing for the national anthem of People's Republic of China.
有请范新泰演唱中华人民共和国国歌。
起来，不愿做奴隶的人们，把我们的血肉筑成我们心的长城。中华民族到了最危险的时候，每个人们投着发出最后的吼声：起来，起来，起来！我们观众一心，冒着点的炮火前进，冒着点的炮火前进，前进，前进进。
Thank you. Thank you. Please remain standing. Now we will have a moment of silence to honor and remember the brave flying tigers who sacrificed their lives on the hump route and those who have already left us.
现在，让我们默哀片刻，缅怀那些在驼峰航线英勇牺牲和已经逝去的飞虎老兵们。
默哀毕 Everyone, you may be seated. Please take a look at the big screen. We are going to take a look at the video. 请大家看向大屏幕。 Thank you. Many thanks to everyone behind this video for putting everything together. And now, everyone, please put your hands together for Honorable Congresswoman Judy Chu to come up to the stage to deliver her speech and present certificate. Welcome.
Good evening. I'm Congressmember Judy Chu, and I'm thrilled to be joining the American Flying Tigers Communication Association to commemorate another milestone in U.S.-China cooperation, the 82nd anniversary of the Hump Route. I want to thank your chairwoman, Ching Jane Yu, for bringing us together, and I'm thrilled to have the presence, of course, of our most esteemed flying tiger, our 98-year-old Mel McMullen. '99, I'm a year behind. Yes, okay, so amazing. Well, of course, earlier this year, we celebrated the 45 years of U.S.-China diplomatic relations, and it was so important for us to acknowledge that it is better to choose diplomacy with cooperation benefiting both nations as well as the world. And the best example of that is indeed the inspiring legacy of the Flying Tigers. These young men left their jobs to volunteer alongside China alongside the Chinese in defense of China, and this was even before the U.S. officially entered the war against Japan. Despite not being an official part of the U.S. military, they were willing to risk their lives in the pursuit of peace. The Flying Tigers' achievement was truly extraordinary, operating with only a few dozen planes and a few hundred soldiers, but with their skills, they were able to bring down hundreds of Imperial Japanese aircraft, which was a testament to their bravery and skill. But it is indeed important for us to acknowledge this very perilous route, the Hump Route, a vital air transport lifeline for the Allies during World War II, which traversed the eastern Himalayas, was infamous for its extreme weather, high altitudes, and hazardous terrain, making it one of the most dangerous logistical operations. After the Flying Tigers disbanded, their successor units carried on the legacy, taking up vital roles in air defense, combat, and reconnaissance. And they kept that route operational despite the odds. So the Flying Tigers have demonstrated incredible bravery, and they have demonstrated the power of U.S.-China cooperation. Thank you, Association, for keeping this legacy of the Flying Tigers alive and making sure that we understand the spirit of collaboration between the U.S. and China. And so I'd like to bring certificates of congressional recognition to our amazing people who have put on this event. First, of course, the American Flying Tigers Communication Association, please come forward, as well as Mel McMullen, our incredible Flying Tiger, and the Roundtable of Southern California Chinese American Organizations, please come forward, and our U.S. General Chamber of Commerce for Entrepreneurs of Hong Kong, Macau, and Guangdong, who is our major sponsor here, and the Southern California U.S.-China Peace and Friendship Promotion Committee, and the National Association of Chinese American Southern California Chapter, and their sponsors like the Learning Tree Group and the National Rongcheng Yu Shu Foundation and the MG Aesthetic Center, and finally, the Harvest Financial Group. Please come forward, and thank you for making this event a possibility.
Sue another round of applause, please, and thanking her for her commitment and dedication to our nation and to our community. Thank you so much. 接下来，请大家以掌声热烈的欢迎于青主席。She is the chairman of American Flying Tigers Communications Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Jane Yu. 有请于青主席。
Honorable Deputy Consul General Huang Hongjiang, Honorable Congresswoman Judy Chu, Honorable Senator Bob Archuleta, Honorable Assembly Michael Fang, and our community leaders and guests, good evening. First of all, I would like to express my sincerest thanks to warm welcome to every guest present today to remember the history of the war of resistance against the Japanese aggression, to commemorate to heroes of the home fight, and to spread the friendship between China and the United States. Tonight, we Flying Tigers Association are holding firm here tonight, title Flying Over the Top of the World, commemorating the 80th anniversary of the Han fight. And at the same time, we have opened the Zoom link for sister in exchange and research between Chinese and American history of World War II. Here I would like to thank you, Congresswoman. I very like to thank Congresswoman and her husband, Michael Yin, for their annual attendance, as well as all elected officials for their support and dedication, which enable us to successfully hold this forum and commemorate the glorious history of the China-US Pilot Home Road. The forum to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the victory of the anti-Japanese next year. Remember the history, friendship between the China and the United States fighting side by side, and pass on the heritage of the historian Han L9 pilot and relate expert to have the depth exchange and join the recall of history significance of the fate. 99 years old Flying Tiger Mel McMillan will be present, and 2 years old home pilot Jack, and he flew over the hump 80 times, and 100 years old hump pilot Robert, who flew over the hump 96 times. We'll send a video to the phone to tell the history of that glorious period together. The home road is air transport road at the Chinese and American arms joined opened with the courage and the wisdom to fly over the dangerous Himalayas. 80 years ago, one Japanese blocked all of Chinese eastern contact. This air lifeline not only transport Chinese as additional soldiers to South Asian battlefield, but also conditional sent and resource from United States, Britain, and other countries to China become an important guarantee for the victory of the war of resistance. The forum include keynote speeches and Nujiang Han Road exhibition, the Han Road history,
video show and interactive discoveries Asian is a session, all of which were held to commemorate history, cherish peace and pass and flying tigers bring spirit. 尊敬的黄宏江副总领事，尊敬的王琦主任，尊敬的赵美心国会议员，尊敬的张淑九大姐，尊敬的张勇主席，以及今天的所有的朋友们。首先，我向大家到场的每一个嘉宾表示最诚挚的感谢和热烈的欢迎，为铭记抗战历史，缅怀驼峰飞虎勇士，传承中美友谊。今晚，我们美国飞虎队传播协会在这里举办“飞越世界之巅”纪念驼峰航线82周年论坛。同时，我们开通 Zoom， 以便中美二战历史学家的交流和研究。在此，感谢中国驻洛杉矶总领事黄宏江先生和王琦主任的莅临，感谢国会议员赵美心女士和她的先生麦克印每年联袂出席我们的活动。同时，我们十分感谢南加华联领导张淑九大姐、张勇主席、陆翔主席等领导，你们的支持和奉献，让我们得以成功在这里举办这次论坛，共同纪念中美联合同风航线的光辉历史。此次论坛意在为明年纪念抗战胜利80周年献礼，铭记中美并肩作战的历史友谊。同时将驼峰航线这一历史遗产传承给更多的美国青年一代。活动我们邀请了历史学家、驼峰历史代表以及相关专家深入交流，共同追忆这一壮举的历史意义。99岁的飞虎老兵 Mailman 亲临现场，我们也同时到100岁的驼峰飞行员家里录了一些视频，他曾飞越驼峰88次。同时，我们也邀请了另一位驼峰飞行员罗伯特·迈尔，驼峰飞行96次。他们会特别发来视频，来一起讲述那段中美联合抗战的峥嵘岁月。驼峰航线是中美两国军队以勇气和智慧共同开辟了一条飞越险恶的喜马拉雅山脉的空中运输线。82年，在日本封锁所有中国对外联络的困境下，这条空中生命线不仅将中国远征士兵运送到南亚战场，同时更将美国和英国的援助物资源源不断送抵中国，成为抗战胜利的重要保障。论坛将包括主题演讲、怒江驼峰航线展览、驼峰航线历史影展以及互动讨论环节，共同缅怀历史，珍惜和平，传承飞虎队勇士精神。为了主办这次驼峰航线论坛，我们飞虎协会8月专程考察云南抗战主战场。据怒江驼峰航线纪念馆记载，仅在空运期间，当时美军一个拥有629架运输机的第10航空队就损失了563架飞机。在整条航线上，美军共损失飞机1500架以上，优秀飞行员近3000人。这个数字我查遍所有的 Google 都没有这个数字。所以这次我云南之行取得非常大的成果，就是当年美国援助中国，曾经有近3000名飞行员牺牲在驼峰航线上。 在整条航线上，美军共损失飞机1500架以上，牺牲优秀飞行员也是3000以上，损失率高达80%。而前后总共有100架运输机的中国航空公司，先后损失了48架，牺牲飞行员168人，损失率亦高达50%。美国驼峰总运总指挥滕纳将军曾说过这样一句话：在2次世界大战期间，在2个同盟国家间的飞机损失率竟超过对德国轰炸。这就是驼峰航线，800公里航程，7000米海拔，3大强气流团，150万小时飞行时间，71040奥吨月空运量记录，65万吨总运量，1500余架飞机损失，近3000多名飞行员牺牲。这条堪称世界上最艰险的航空线——驼峰航线，也支撑了抗战最危难时期的空中生命线。曾经在二战结束后，美国《时代》这样描述驼峰航线：在长达800余公里的深山峡谷、雪峰冰川间，一路上都散落着这些飞机的碎片。在天气强好的日子，这些铝片会在阳光下照耀的反射的反光，这就是驼峰航线，据称铝骨。整日冲塑着死亡的驼峰航线，从1942年开始，直至抗战结束的3年间，24小时从未间断。正是这支飞虎航线的支持，中国有效地牵制住中日本的大量的军队，使他们无力再向东南亚和太平洋战争扩展，减少了其他同盟国的压力，为二战胜利贡献了显著的成绩。举办飞越世界之巅纪念驼峰航线82周年的活动，具有深远的重大意义。这是对那段峥嵘岁月的回望与缅怀，是对那些勇敢无畏与为国捐躯的飞行员的崇高的致敬。陈纳德将军、史蒂威将军、滕纳将军以及中美飞行员、地勤人员和支援人员都为执行驼峰航线任务做出巨大的贡献，为抗战胜利及世界反法西斯战的胜利做出卓越贡献。本次论坛同时也要促进了驼峰航线及精神的研究和传承，让更多的人了解这段历史，从而为共同维护世界和平与发展贡献力量。最后，我们向驼峰航线的勇士们致敬。无论在战争年代还是和平的今天，中美两国人民友谊源远流长。感谢大家，非常感谢每一个人的光临，谢谢。
非常感谢于青主席为传播飞虎精神所做的不懈努力。现在，让我们用热烈的掌声欢迎中华人民共和国驻洛杉矶总领事馆黄洪江副总领事上台致辞。Please welcome the Vice Consul General Huang Hongjiang from the Consulate General of the People's Republic of China in Los Angeles.
Honorable Congresswoman Judy Chu, Madame Yu Qing, Chairman of the American Aviation Flying Tigers Communication Association, Madame Xu Zhang, Honorable Mel McCarran, and Honorable Jeff Green, Michael Fang, the Assembly person. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Huang Hongjiang, the Deputy Consul General of the Chinese Consulate in Los Angeles. It is my honor and privilege to attend this meaningful event tonight with my colleague, Madame Wang. This is an event in commemoration of the 82nd anniversary of the Hump route, which demonstrated this friendship and all I would say the camaraderie between China and US 82 years ago, when we were fighting side by side against the Japanese invasion. In those toughest days, our two peoples facing the huge challenges and difficulties, especially the Flying Tigers and the Hump pilots, their bravery, their courage, and their determination to fight against the Japanese invasion is touching us from generation to generation. The spirit of the Flying Tigers and the spirit of the Hump pilots continue to impact the young generations. And I think it's important for us to not only memorize their contributions and their sacrifice, because we know this is one of the most costly, as Madame Jiang mentioned, one of the most costly aviation routes in world history. And also the longest and also the most cherished part of the friendship between China and US. As a diplomat from China, I have visited different parts of the world, Africa, Australia, and surely the United States. I came to understand the importance of preserving peace, justice, and prosperity. The life we are enjoying now today is not easily won. Or I would say the victory against the fascists 82 years ago is not easily won. And we need to join hands to protect it, to defend it, because the Hump pilots, with their huge sacrifice, their goal is to maintain peace, justice, and prosperity, and not to repeat the terrible tragedy that has been taken place in history. Next year, we will celebrate the 80th anniversary of the victory against the Chinese anti-Japanese war. And also it is the 80th anniversary of the victory of the World War II. As I learned from history, from the textbook, whether it is Sir Churchill or somebody else, he talked about a nation who forgets history is doomed to failure. And I think we are learning from the history. We are learning from the spirit of the Flying Tigers and the Hump pilots. This is not to remember the hatred. We are here together to ensure that the two peoples from China and US will continue the friendship and the camaraderie to protect peace, justice, and prosperity. And also, the world today is undergoing drastic changes as we are witnessing geopolitical changes, regional conflicts, climate change, and all kinds of different challenges. It is imperative for China and US to continue to work together, to join hands, to make sure that our relationship is developed on the principle of mutual respect, peaceful coexistence, and win-win cooperation. Because we believe cooperation is the key for common development. Cooperation is also the key to address our common challenges so that our peoples will continue to enjoy peaceful life and happy life. So I think this will be the meaning of the event tonight. And we need to carry on the spirit of Flying Tigers and the Hump pilots, passing down from generations to generations, because we are people of the world. And as we know that the new year is coming, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt and sincere gratitude to Madame Jiang, to Honorable McMillan and colleagues today, and also to extend my best wishes to you and your family. A very happy, fruitful, and prosperous New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Consul General 黄洪江。黄洪江副总领事到洛杉矶旅行不久，但是呢，他的亲民和务实的作风已经让很多的南加侨民留下了非常深刻的印象。而且黄副总，刚才您在演讲那么长时间脱稿用英文演讲，后面几位女主持人都表示印象深刻，说确实展现了新一代中国外交官的风采。请大家热烈的掌声鼓励一下我们黄洪江副总领事，谢谢。Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker, I think he deserves a lot of credit. He was a Flying Tiger veteran, a machine gunner. He is a hero to all of us. His name is Mr. Mel McMullen. I think he deserves a standing ovation when he's walking up to the stage. 请大家起立欢迎99岁的老兵 Mr. Mel McMullen.
That I've been holding now for a great many years. We learned to admire, respect, and honor the Chinese people. We knew if we were over a target area and whether it was mechanical failure or enemy action, we knew that our best chance, maybe our only chance for survival, was to get far enough away from the combat target area that if we had to bail out, we might be rescued by a brave farmer or villager. We knew that even though they would be punished if they were found aiding the American airmen, they still, if we could get far enough away from the combat target area and bail out, hundreds of our airmen were rescued by a brave villager or farmer who would hide the airmen by day and by night, move them village to village until they could be picked up by the Americans. And I'm carrying that to this day. That I heard that story many times. Many times I heard that story that our best, maybe our only chance for survival was to get far enough away from the target area that we might be rescued by one of these brave villagers or town people. And I know that there's hundreds of airmen that got back from that. I've heard that story so many times, and I carry it to this day. Thank you.
请大家再次以热烈的掌声鼓励一下 Mr. Mel McMullen。观看一段短视频，她是飞虎将军陈纳德先生的孙女 Nell Calloway。 有一个视频的致辞，请大家看大屏幕。
I want to thank you all for being here today. I had really hoped that I was going to be able to join you, but unfortunately this year it just did not work out. But I also appreciate Jane Yu for the invitation and the organization for inviting me to come. And I really appreciate Jane for all the support that she gives to the Chenault Foundation. And of course, the Chenault Foundation supports the Chenault Aviation and Military Museum. I know a lot of y'all will not be able to make a trip to Louisiana to the museum. So I'm just going to point out 2 highlights that I'd like to showcase to you today. First, I'm going to let General Chenault greet you himself.
Welcome to my story of World War II in China. Growing up on a farm in northeast Louisiana, my dream was to fly airplanes. But when I first joined the infantry in World War I, they put me on a horse. After the war, I was able to earn my wings in the Army Air Corps. I loved flying and did so every opportunity I could. I worked hard to serve my country, but my commanding officers rarely agreed with my ideas about aviation and combat. So I retired and accepted an invitation to go to China. I planned to stay a few months, but realized how much the Chinese people needed my help to defend themselves against the Japanese. This exhibit is not just my story. It's a story of the brave Chinese and Americans who worked together to defeat the Japanese. We fought together as brothers and formed relationships that would last our lifetimes. It is my fondest hope that the sign of the flying tiger will remain aloft just as long as it is needed, and that it will always be remembered on both shores of the Pacific as the symbol of 2 great peoples working toward a common goal in war and peace.
I hope you enjoyed that. Now we're going to go to another piece in the museum that I think you'll appreciate. This beautiful painting was done by Mr. Zhao Lijiang in Kunming, China. He did this for our museum in 2005, and it depicts the C-47s flying over the Himalayan mountains. It also has the P-40 shooting down the Japanese Zero, but it's a very beautiful, beautiful painting for our visitors that depicts a very crucial time in the war, and I know that is what you're celebrating tonight. So I wanted to show you this painting in particular. And I think though it's really important as we celebrate these men and women who've served in our military, we must remember General Chenault's words when he wrote, 2 great peoples working toward a common goal in war and peace. It took very brave men and women to defeat the Imperial Japanese military. It is now up to us to work really hard, just like they did, in a time of peace to maintain that peace and to give our future generations a better life for hopefully the next 80 years. So thank you for allowing me to share this little bit with you today. And I do hope you have a very, very blessed holiday season, and maybe next year we'll be back together again. Thank you.
Now, please welcome Honorable California State Senator Bob Archuleta to the stage to give us a speech. 好，让我们掌声欢迎美国加州参议员 Bob Archuleta 上台致辞。
Good evening, everyone. This is the time when we come together this Christmas season, but at the same time we're reflecting yesterday, December 7th, 1941, Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. And across this nation, we realized that we were no longer at peace, we were at war. And people didn't even know where Hawaii was, let alone Honolulu, let alone Pearl Harbor. But as men and women came forth here in America to volunteer and join all branches of service, our Army, our Navy, our Air Force, our Army Air Force, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard, all of them, Merchant Marines, everyone from across America stood up to join and volunteer. And with us today, I would like to acknowledge the Marine Corps Honor Guard that was here, our veterans that are in the room from the Marine Corps, from AMVETS, American Legion, VFW, all the various organizations. Can we give our American veterans a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? We welcome you, veterans. I'm Senator Bob Archuleta. I'm the chair of the Military and Veterans Committee for the state of California. And I have the honor to visit many, many military bases across the state of California, our 31 military bases. So there isn't much difference from the veterans that we have in the House, but the veterans that we saw on the screen. And I know our honored veteran today will recognize the fact that once a trooper, always a trooper. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Once a sailor, always a sailor. And once an airman, always an airman. And it is so true. The American spirit is what guided us to victory. But we couldn't have done it alone. We needed allies. And our ally, of course, was China at the time. And I will tell you, the hump that we've been hearing about was the most difficult route in World War II when Japan blocked all Chinese external contact. They could not get the food, the supplies, the ammunition. And it was President Roosevelt opened up the air transport route over the dangerous Himalayas, namely called the hump, as we all know it now. The main function of the hump route was to transport Chinese expeditionary soldiers, food, supplies to the battlefields in South Asia by air. It was an undertaking that people thought should never happen, but it did happen. And it saved lives, but it took lives as well. And to transport aid and materials from the United States, Britain, and other countries to China from India. That opening the operation for the hump route not only reflected the deep friendship between the Chinese and American people, but it also countless flying warriors, known as the Flying Tigers. They defended this air route with their lives and blood, making great contributions to the final victory of World War II. And I will tell you that the World War II veterans that are slowly dying out, they remember December 7th. They remember World War II. And people will remember when China and America were working together to defeat the enemy. And it is important that we realize that during World War II, we did come together as two nations, working for peace, working for justice for each other. And a big shout out to General Chinook, who you saw on the screen, who started the Flying Tigers, and the American volunteers to fight in battle until they were also called all together and became one. And we were able to defeat the Japanese invasion, but because of the route and the hump, over 1,000 American and Chinese crew members were lost in that route. It is amazing that their sacrifice continues every single day in our history books, but we must continue it in our hearts. We have to remember that it was the Americans and the Chinese crews. And as we heard earlier, that any Chinese citizen that helped an American was doomed to death, and their families. So it was quite a sacrifice. So I want to thank the association for bringing us together, and I thank God that we have the veterans that we have in the House and for their service. And once again, I thank you for coming together and honoring these veterans who've sacrificed their lives in World War II. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Senator Bob Archuleta, and I'm honored to be here today. God bless you and Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much, Honorable Bob Archuleta. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Honorable State Assembly Member Mike Fong to come up to the stage to deliver his short speech and present the certificates. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Olivia, and I want to keep this brief. I know we have a lot of speakers here tonight. Good evening, 大家好，我是方旭昌. It's a distinct honor and privilege to bring warm greetings to everyone gathered here today for the 82nd commemoration of the American Flying Tigers and the Communication Association led by our chair, Jane Yu. To our Deputy Counsel General, thank you so much for your leadership and efforts. To Senator Archuleta, to everyone gathered here today to support and uplift this very important story of cooperation during World War II. And to Mr. McMullen, I had the chance to be with him and Mr. Green last year. We were in China to experience that moment there and to see him being celebrated and honored and revered. We need to continue to share that history of American veterans that were in allyship with China at the time to really fight the Japanese and really to fight in World War II against imperialism. And thank you, Mr. McMullen, to all our veterans for your leadership and efforts in protecting us here in America. And so with that, I'd like to present certificates to the American Flying Tigers Association. If Chair Jane, you can come on up. And to the round table of Chinese American organizations, I see my good friend, Mr. Andy Zhang, can you come up? The Southern California U.S.-China Peace, Friendship, and Promotion Committee, HTTTV, Chinese American Association of Southern California, Jingjong Liu, Hanyu Tong, Isan. If they can all come up. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Be seated. Thank you so much. 接下来我们邀请，因为时间关系啊，我们也邀请在现场的所有的 elected officials and their representatives to come up to the stage. 我们先有请加州审计长 Malia Cohen 的代表，也是蒙市的前市长林达坚先生，还有我们former Assembly California Assembly Member Mike Ng。以及我们 County Supervisor Catherine Baga 的代表 Jimmy Wu, Arcadia Mayor Michael Cao, the Mayor Pro Tem from the great city of San Gabriel, Denise Manchak.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Stephen Lam, former mayor of Monterey Park. I'm the current President of the U.S. General Chamber of Commerce for Hong Kong, Macau, and Guangdong. Very honored to be here and be sponsored tonight for my good friend Yu Qing for doing this meaningful event. We've been supporting many years, but this year I think it turned out to be very nice with a lot of veterans. So I'm the one in Monterey Park always support veterans. All the veterans, I wanted to salute to you for helping this nation, keeping the peace. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Denise Menchaca, Vice Mayor of the historic city of San Gabriel. First of all, I want to welcome everyone to this city, to this beautiful hotel. We too are strong supporters of our veterans. We value history as being the founders of LA County. We started in 1771, and history continues on. So thank you for picking us to continue to honor wonderful and courageous veterans like Mr. Calloway. What an amazing story, 98 years old, and he's still here sharing everything that happened that day. I have quite a few certificates, which I will leave here, but again, have a wonderful evening.
Yes, we ask you to hold your certificate before everybody have a chance to speak. And before you, Michael, please allow me to also invite Mr. William Wu from the Compton School Police Department and Mr. George Herrera. He is the City Council member-elect for the great city of San Gabriel. Are you here, Mr. William? Okay, great. Sorry, Michael.
No problem. Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Cow. I'm the mayor of the city of Arcadia. I'm here for one reason only. I'm an Iraq, Afghanistan veteran myself, served active duty United States Air Force for 10 years. I am here because I know and I understand what it means to be a veteran. We appreciate you. We will always support veterans from one veteran to another. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. My name is Jimmy Wu. I'm the field deputy to County Supervisor Catherine Barger. It's a really great honor to join your commemoration tonight. Thank you so much. I'm also going to tell you the chairwoman of the county that Catherine Barger just took the chairwomanship this year. So we're looking forward to work closely with all the Chinese community organization next year. And the holiday is around the corner. I wish everybody happy holidays. Thank you.
你好，我的名字是贺朝之。Hello, everyone. My name is Jorge Herrera, council member elect for the city of San Gabriel. It's just a huge honor to be here in front of all the veterans here. And I almost enlisted when I was 18. I went with my friend. I don't know where he was taking me, and we ended up in this office. And I regret not enlisting, but I didn't enlist. I took a different pathway. But my hat goes off to every single veteran that did enlist and fought for this country. You are the bedstone of why we're here and why we're free. Remember, we're the land of the free, and nothing is free. And thank you so much for those great fighters that fought, and for the Chinese that supported those fighters in the great way that you did. Thank you so much. 谢谢.
Good evening. It is my honor to be here today. I came from a long military, my family has a long military history. I came from a long line of military members. My grandfather served in the Chinese Air Force back in World War II. Although he was not a pilot, he did not serve directly with the Flying Tigers. He told me stories when I was growing up that he worked in the weather stations and he did the weather reports so that the pilots can fly safely. So when I grew up in Taiwan back then, since my family were all military, I grew up on a military base basically. I spent a lot of time there, listened to American music since I was a little kid. And when I started asking him about the Flying Tigers, he started telling me all the stories, and that's when I did my research, learned everything I could about the Flying Tigers, and it's such an honor to be here because of their sacrifice. They stopped the Japanese long enough for America to get involved in the war, and without them, China probably would have been lost if it wasn't for their sacrifice and their bravery. And the one thing is, since my grandfather was in the Air Force back then, after the war, when the Japanese surrendered, he was put in charge of safely transporting all the Japanese POWs back to Japan. And the Japanese soldiers were so grateful because they expected that the Chinese were going to kill them, like the same type of brutality that they exhibited. And so when the Chinese military showed them mercy and granted them safe passage and put my grandfather in charge, they signed a flag. They gave him their military flag, and they signed it. And I have it in the back, if anyone would like to take a look. It has all the signatures of the Japanese soldiers. And my mother, she grew up with him. She knew all the stories, and she always told me she's so proud of her father who fought in the war. And I never had the privilege of serving, but I am honored to be part of his legacy. And thank you for all the veterans out there. And thank you. I couldn't be more grateful to all of you.
Congratulations to everyone. Let's take a group picture together.
来呢，让我们要有请联合主办方上台致辞。他们是美国南加州华人社团联合会荣誉主席、抗战将军张治中的女儿张素九大姐，美国南加州华人社团联合会主席团主席张勇先生。
同时，我们欢迎美中和平友好促进会会长陆强先生上台，欢迎全美华人协会南加分会理事长何畅元上台，欢迎您。
说呢？好，我拿个话筒讲，我站在那儿讲。
好好。
你们站在那儿讲。您先讲，你先讲，你先讲，你先讲，你先讲。从你那大姐先讲，我讲的长。
好吧，那个尊敬的余庆主席，尊敬的中国驻洛杉矶总领馆黄浦江总领事，尊敬的王琦主任，各位侨领、各位朋友、各位嘉宾，大家晚上好。在二战期间啊，这个在中国备战领土上，飞虎队执行危险的任务，击落了数以百战次的那个敌军轰炸机，谱写出一曲啊可歌可泣的英勇战歌。飞虎队的精神也就传承了中美两国人民并肩抗战的伟大壮举。这个如今战争的硝烟已经离我们远去，但是的话呢，就飞虎队的精神在一代又一代人的传颂中越来越鲜活，成为中美两国共同的记忆。这个也是中美世代友好的佳话。这个现在我们前事不忘后事之师，我们今天在这里纪念飞虎队，我们就要一方面我们要铭记这段历史，同时的话呢，我们要珍惜这个来之不易的世界的和平，把飞虎队的精神传承下去，让飞虎队的精神在新时代绽发新的光彩。谢谢大家。
好，尊敬的余庆会长、王洪江副总领事、各位嘉宾，大家晚上好。感谢余庆会长邀请我参加今天的纪念飞虎队飞越红枫航线82周年的活动。历史，重提历史，加深了解中美两国人民共同抗战，这对促进中美两国民间外交、加强中美两国人民互相之间的具体友谊有重大的意义。我谨代表全美华人协会南加州分会全体同仁表示支持和敬意，预祝今晚活动圆满成功。
大家好，今天呢是我们庆祝这个就是驼峰的82周年。我那个时候呢是8岁了，我也正好8岁了，所以我非常记得美国派这个飞虎队到重庆来，因为那个时候我们国民的这个就是说飞行方面就是说整个来说是比较落后的，所以呢都是由美国的朋友来帮助我们来做这个事情。所以我记得很清楚，就是说当我们这个英雄，就是说飞虎队的这些英雄，他们首先是到重庆，我还参加了他们那个 party， 我觉得就是说他们是非常勇敢、非常努力，而且呢，就是在中国最难的地方，就是最南的东边的那个航线， 最不容易的，而且非常危险的，他们就非常勇敢的去帮助我们中国的抗日战争。所以呢，我觉得今天呢，我们缅怀他们，他们的过去的对中国的支持，我觉得特别的好。所以呢，我也非常谢谢我们的组织者能够不忘过去，我们也缅怀我们现在也应该的更好的记住我们中美过去在抗日战争中的结下的友情，我们中美关系也应该更好的像以前一样的发展。谢谢大家。
大姐是我们这个2战的见证人，所以今天大姐，那个时候大姐刚才讲了，她8岁啊，那个大姐现在知道说大姐现在多么年轻。Okay, thank you for American. We are really appreciate. We are for our young generation. We still remember American hero. You are really touch our heart. Thank you so much. We need to keep our relationship, friendship forever. Thank you.
好，接下来呢，我们也有请张勇主席带领美华联的成员上台，给我们的于青主席颁发贺状。来，有请于青主席上台。然后美华联的常委们跟出席的这次活动的嘉宾们一起上台，有请。
On behalf of the Roundtable of Chinese American Organizations, we want to present this certificate of recognition to American Flying Tigers Communication Association, 美国飞虎队传播协会飞越世界之巅纪念驼峰空运82周年论坛，驼峰巍峨连远方，铁翼凌云傲雪霜。空中桥梁生命线，中美抗战友谊长，浩气千秋壮国邦，英魂不朽永辉煌，牢记历史愿和平，明恩世代续华章。美国华人社团联合会。
来，我们快速开单请嘉宾。
好，谢谢各位，请就座。董事长李记，有请。
同时，我们欢迎电商会计师事务所总裁 Michelle Wu， 欢迎汇众金融集团副总裁 Leslie Jin， 欢迎盈科律师事务所全球董事会董事何宁宁，欢迎各位。
好，希望各位致辞简短，谢谢。
感谢各位今天晚上光临在这里聚会，纪念飞虎队光荣历史，缅怀先烈，传承飞虎文化。希望中美两国借此过去的友谊源远流长谢谢。
尊敬的各位官员、嘉宾、各位朋友，大家好！今天非常荣幸能够站在这里，与大家共同回顾二战这段深刻影响人类历史的岁月。在二战中，飞虎队是中美两国为争取世界和平并肩作战的历史见证。展望未来，中美两国也可以互相成就，共同繁荣。新力国际教育集团作为一家深耕教育领域20年的公司，我们不仅仅是教授知识，我们更是培养下一代理解历史、拥抱多元化的文化。此次活动，我们派出了38位高中的义工们参与论坛的筹备和支持工作。这些高中生借此更深入地了解历史，为推动中美文化合作贡献新生力量。未来我们将继续为促进中美文化的交流共同努力。最后，让我们一起铭记过去的教训，珍视中美的友谊，共创世界和平。感谢大家。
尊敬的各位来宾、朋友们，大家晚上好！我是汇众金融集团的副总裁 Leslie 任。今天非常荣幸能够以汇众金融集团的名义赞助并出席美国飞虎队驼峰航线82周年论坛盛典，并向各位表达我们对这一伟大组织的深切敬意。作为美国金融行业的龙头企业，汇众金融集团始终秉持着责任、传承、创新的核心价值观。我们深知，支持像美国飞虎队协会这样的组织，是对历史的致敬，更是对未来的承诺。通过赞助本次年会，我们希望为美国飞虎队的故事增添一份力量，让更多人铭记这段历史，并从中汲取启发，携手创造更加美好的未来。最后，我谨代表汇众金融集团，再次向美国飞虎队协会及所有参与者表达最崇高的敬意与最诚挚的感谢。愿我们以历史为镜，以英雄为榜样，共同为社会的繁荣与和平而努力。谢谢大家。
谢谢，再次感谢各位对本次活动的大力支持，请落座休息。那么接下来是一个论坛时间。好，那么接下来呢，我们先简短的看一个视频。
Thank you all to previous speakers. Your words are very inspiring. Now please welcome a video address from the Los Angeles County Supervisor, Catherine Barger.
Hi, I'm Los Angeles County Supervisor Catherine Barger. The County of Los Angeles is home to one of the largest Chinese American populations in the United States. Locally, we are proud to play an instrumental role in strengthening U.S.-China relations by promoting cultural exchange, trade delegations, and educational programs. Our efforts are focused on mutual understanding and respect for one another. Our relations provide opportunities that serve and strengthen both our nations academically, economically, and relationally. This relationship was first made possible by the Flying Tigers in 1937, a pivotal chapter in the history of the U.S. relations with China. The story of the American Volunteer Group, now known as the Flying Tigers, is one of courage, sacrifice, and friendship. During World War II, a group of American pilots fought alongside Chinese forces against Japan. These brave men risked their lives to defend China and to protect the values of freedom. Among these courageous men, we are honored to have Mel McMullen at today's celebration. Mel, your heroic efforts are a testament to the spirit of the Flying Tigers. Thank you for illustrating such strength and collaboration. It's clear that there is a rich history between our nations through many points in history. I would like to express my gratitude to the American Flying Tigers Communication Association. Best wishes for a meaningful and memorable event.
Let's give another round of applause to County Supervisor Catherine Barger. Our next segment will be our forum segment. We are so honored and privileged to have invited a lot of very leading scholars and related people in the Flying Tigers history and many others. So let me just announce their name, and please put your hands together and welcome each and every one of them. Once again, we want to invite back to the stage Mr. Mel McMullen and Mr. Jeff Green, Mr. Nick Rosa, the famous Hollywood Director Academy Award winner Mr. Richard Anderson, and Hollywood famous Chinese American director Mr. 陈伯平，以及于清会长重新回到台上来。
My name is Jack Goodrich. During World War II, I was a pilot flying in the United States Air Force from an airfield in Myitkyina, Burma, eastward across the Himalayan mountains into Kunming and other fields in China. I flew with squadrons that were attached to the Flying Tiger squadrons after we were based in China. We were called the hub pilots, referring to our flight over the chain of Himalayan mountains separating Burma from China. Our primary mission was to fly all supplies required to conduct the war against the Japanese foes. I crossed the Himalayan mountains 88 times, flying these loads of supplies night and day, 7 days a week.
My name is Robert Moore. I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, 100 years ago. In 1942, I enlisted in the Army Air Corps. They sent me for training on a C-46, which at the time was the largest twin-engine plane in World War II. After my training, and I had learned to fly it, they transferred me over to Assam, in the Upper Assam, in a base called Moenbury. From there, I flew supplies, military supplies, over into China. Most of my supplies were military, like gasoline, bombs, ammunition, although I did carry other things that the Chinese Army needed. I made 96 round-trip flights over the Himalayan mountains with the supplies. Most of my flights were in Kunming, but I did go to several other smaller cities, Chanyi and Luliang. My experience in China were very favorable. We were cooperating together. We had the Flying Tigers, which was fighting the Japanese Air Force. We had the Chinese Army in Burma, and I was supplying as much supplies for their use as I possibly could, along with many other hump pilots. My experience was very favorable. It was the fact that we were cooperating, that the Chinese and the Americans were working together to defeat the Japanese. It is my sincere wish that this cooperation should continue.
Wow, what are moving stories these two heroes have just told us. Let's give them another round of applause. And thank you. Thank their service and sacrifice for world peace. So now we come to the forum segment. Mr. Jeff Green. Mr. Jeff Green. We finally met. I've saw you many times on social media, on Chinese American TVs, and you're obviously a leading expert on the Flying Tigers and hump flight. So we're so honored to have you. Can you briefly introduce yourself to us and then tell us, what brought you into this Flying Tiger and hump flight history, and obviously try to expand the influence of Flying Tiger's spirit?
Well, I'm the president of the Sino-American Aviation Heritage Foundation. We've had we have had in the last 30 years about 900 members, all of whom were World War II veterans who did something in China, flew the hump, were fighter pilots, bomber pilots, worked on the Burma Road, and that's been exciting. Mel McMullen was one of our early board members. You just saw Bob Moore, and you saw Jack Goodrich, board members. What we started doing is basically in 2000, we started taking the veterans back to China. Since 2000, we've taken over 500 veterans back to China. Basically going, besides the big cities, but in Yunnan, the airfield there, the Hump Pilots Monument, Jiangung, where Mel was stationed, Tenchong, which was a great battle at the end of the war where the Chinese Army and the American Army Air Forces drove the Japanese out of western, Yunnan province, and therefore out of western China. It's been exciting. It's sad, though, because where we had all those veterans in the past, there's only about 8 of them who are alive now, which is I don't want to scare you on that now, but we're down to about 8 living Flying Tigers. And it's a great legacy that we're still able to share. It's what it is, the relationship between Mel and the other American pilots in particular, the Hump pilots, the 14th Air Force pilots, the American Volunteer Group guys, they created a relationship with the Chinese people that will never be more important, that will never be more lasting, and therefore it's the most important relationship that will ever exist between the American people and the Chinese people. It's that simple. And taking these guys to China, doing events here, we've just had a remarkable opportunity to see how the Chinese remember the Flying Tigers. Recently, we took a group to China last October. We took Mel and Jen. We took Harry Moyer. Harry is a fighter pilot. At the time, he turned 103 on our trip. Oh, you're seeing many of this as I'm speaking.
Yes. Yes.
So we had the two veterans. I gotta say 2.5 veterans because Jen used to make airplanes for them to fly in. She was what they call Rosie the Riveter. So we had 2.5 veterans on this trip, and we had 30 family members. Something remarkable happened. It was coming out of COVID, and the airlines weren't working, and it was very difficult to plan a trip last year. And we have a communication recently on another project with President Xi, and I figured, well, maybe I should write a letter. And I wrote a letter, and I signed it my name and Mel's name and Harry's name. And I told President Xi that this will probably be the last time that Flying Tigers ever go to China. And you know what? 12 days later, he returned my letter. It's a remarkable letter where he praises the foundation, he praises the pilots themselves. And the one thing we started actually 2 years ago is our Flying Tiger Friendship School program. Many of the pictures behind me will show our Chinese students and our American students. We started with one school, basically in sort of a roundabout way in Kunming. It used to be called the Hump Pilot School, and our board members in the 1990s donated something like $50,000 to that school. It has since become the Kunming International Language School. We visited it last year. They're actually our first kind of school. We started with a school in Las Vegas, the Jack Schofield Elementary School, middle school. Jack was one of our board members. He was a B-25 pilot, and he was an important politician and educator in Las Vegas. So they named the school the Jack Schofield School, and the kids are the Flying Tigers. Their sports teams, everything about them, their assemblies, so they know who the Flying Tigers are. So anyway, long story short, Catherine and I have just come back from China. We now have 61 high schools and middle schools in our Flying Tiger Friendship School program. That's about 300,000 students. In the last summer, we visited probably 23 schools of these schools. These are from Xiamen, this is Kunming, Nanjing, Chongqing. I can go on and on. 5 nights ago, we were in Urumqi in Xinjiang. We just brought on 9 schools, universities, high schools, and middle schools. That's a big step because Urumqi and Xinjiang are kind of overlooked a little bit. Schools in Xiamen, just areas of China I've never seen. It's remarkable. And so this program is remarkable. And in his letter, President Xi went out of his way to explain and support our program. He talked about the future of our countries is in the people, and that future belongs to the children. And it's important that we teach this history so that we have Flying Tigers in the future. So we have our Flying Tiger Friendship School program as the most remarkable, what do I say, support recommendation from the President of China. That's an important thing because it shows the value that President Xi places on the history of the Flying Tigers. So anyway, we're continuing. As I said, this past July, we took 70 students from 11 states. This coming year, in June, we'll be taking 200 students. And then the following July, we'll be taking another 200 students. We'll be having students coming from China. And it's a remarkable program. And I hope that all of you will think about it will understand it, that it's very special. This summer we met Hang Chen, the vice president. You remember that? Mel was with us. We met Wang Yi just about a month ago. And again, we met President Xi briefly about a month ago. So we have a remarkable program. I hope you will all support it. We are a nonprofit. There are other people who are trying to kind of do this, but they're doing it for profit. So anyway, it's an important program. It's going to carry on the story. It's going to carry on Mel's story. It's going to carry on all of the Flying Tigers. And I'm just very happy I can tell you about it. I'm kind of missing the point on the hump. Everyone has told you how important it is. Without the hump, of course, there would not have been a success in China in World War II. We've had, as I said, 200 of our veteran members were hump pilots. So we're a pretty good repository of photographs and histories, and there's probably a book that I'm going to have to write. One of the things we're doing, and I'll end with this, when we're doing our school openings, we have our photographic memory of history photo exhibit. We did 4 cities this last 3 months. We're doing 11 next year. The support is remarkable for these programs. It's the same program we initiated at the Smithsonian Institute 2 years ago, and then had at the Air Force Museum last April. So anyway, we're keeping the story alive in China. We're keeping the story alive, telling them about people like Mel. It's so important, and as most of you know, as most of you are Chinese, of course, it's so very, very important. So anyway, I just thank everything that I Ching has done to put this event on. Council Wong, we're so happy to meet you. He's busy, that's all right. And we're happy to see Sue. Sue was just one of the great treasures of both countries. So anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeff. What a remarkable job you have done. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give Jeff another round of applause for his tremendous work in making the Flying Tiger spirit keep on going. State Commander Nick Rosa, glad to have you. As Jeff just indicated, we only have 8 Flying Tigers left.
May I do one thing?
Yes, please.
Hey, Marines! A shout out to the Marines in the room. Can you put your hands up? Okay, guys, we're all Marines. We it's a Marine Corps thing.
Thank you very much for coming, Marines. So I just want to say, first of all, anything we can do to help to preserve the Flying Tiger spirits, there are only a few of them left. And you're in charge of the Veterans Department here, and I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Well, every time I get invited here by Charlie Liu, I read up on the massacre of Nanking, Pearl Harbor. We got to observe the Pearl Harbor Day, and the Flying Tigers with General Chinook. So every time I get invited here, I'm studying and more, and learning the relationship that we had with China and the American soldiers. And we got to continue this relationship to deter the enemy forces from taking over. And we got to remember, I have it here, with the American soldiers aiding the Chinese against the Japanese occupation, together with the international alliance and friendship, we can conquer all aggression, reinforcing the importance of remembering past sacrifices and for future generations. Let us remember that freedom is not free. Let us remember Pearl Harbor, Nanjing Massacre, General Chinook, the Flying Tigers, all our POW men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Nick Rosa, Department Commander. Any other questions?
That's all for now, but thank you so much for your service to the veterans. It is so important to our society.
And before I'm done, I'd like to say happy birthday, Jennifer. 100th year, happy birthday, right here, table 1. I'd like to thank the American Legion for supporting, and the Marine Corps Lead, Detachment 1347. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now to our famous Hollywood director, Academy Award winner, Mr. Richard Anderson. Richard, we talked about.
1 minute.
Oh, I'm
please.
sorry, Mel. Go ahead, please. You can have any minutes you want.
I'll hand this down to you in a second, but I just want to introduce my wife Jennifer again. Just turned 100, but she left her legal secretary job for over a year to pick up a riveting gun as a Rosie the Riveter, and at Lockheed Airport in Glendale, and. I just wanted to, it was mentioned in passing, but I wanted to bring it forth. She was an actual Rosie the Riveter. Okay.
Well, thank you so much.
One thing, if I don't want to go home and get beat up, I want to also thank my honey Cindy Padilla for being here with me.
Okay, I will skip my respect to my wife and move on to Richard Anderson. Richard, we have spoken about making some movies, and you have indicated you know now you probably don't want to make the huge commercial movies. You want to make the movie that reflects humans, people, grassroots people. As I heard Mel was talking, and he said something to the effect that if you're shut down, you'd rather be shut down with the Chinese farmers. So I was thinking that may give you some enlightenment over there.
Right, right. By the way, let me make a statement. There's nothing wrong with a big budget film as long as people see it and it affects them. Okay, that's the most important thing, is that films affect people and get them to change the way they think. A few years back, I directed co-directed a film with China, a co-production about American POWs who the Japanese sent to Shenyang, and they were there till the end of the war as slave labor. And during amazingly, even though they're POWs, they risked their lives trying to sabotage the operations in the factories, making aircraft parts, so the Japanese airplanes couldn't go shoot at Mel as effectively. So anyway, similarly, one of the greatest things was I got to go meet some of the people who were in the prison camp, and they were all in their 90s, and I felt that we had to get their stories on camera, because one of them literally passed away about 2 months after we filmed him. So I think it's really important to document the experience of the generation before us, and also, you know, look at what's big in Hollywood. Superheroes, right? Superman, Batman, the Avengers, all these people, but they're fake. They're not real. There's no Superman. So, but like, we have a true superhero with us today, Mel, and his colleagues who fought the war. They weren't drafted. They didn't even volunteer to join the U.S. Army, Air Force. They volunteered to go to China to help China. They risked their lives. Amazing. They could have stayed home and listened to Benny Goodman and watched Gone with the Wind at their local theater, but instead they went to China and risked their lives. And I think one of the great things about motion pictures is that they tell stories so that the next generation can see them. Young people today, they don't tend to read books too much, unfortunately, but they go to see movies and they watch them even on their phones and things like that. So if we can make a film about the flying tigers, about flying over the hump, all that, then the next generation will see, and the generation after that, and the one after that, because films can last almost forever now. And so we have to pass this legacy on. We have to make a movie, okay? Whatever the budget we can raise, we have to make a movie. So that's all I'm going to say.
Thank you, Richard. Talking about making a movie about the hump route, and our next speaker, Director 陈柏平 is making a movie about it. 陈导演有什么感想？听到目前我们的这个论坛。
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I would like to give Richard Anderson a quick answer. We are making this production. We already finished the script writing. And right now, in processing, try to get the Chinese government a co-production deal and get the co-production permit, which was very important. Why we have to do that? Because, for example, I've been told by Flying Tiger when I was a kid. But I think maybe Flying Tiger is over a couple hundred, American pilots help Chinese, try to get rid of the Japanese. But I was wrong, totally wrong, until I did some research recently. The number is shocked. You see, how many people realized how many American pilots and co-pilots being in China during the hemp road? The number is 6,000 to 7,000 American volunteer airmen being that war, the battle, okay? And how many American pilots been killed or suffered, okay, and are lost. Anyway, they dedicated their life, donated their life, sacrifice for this war. How many? Can you imagine? Recently, I found a number from China Central TV station. It is not only the number, but also the name list for each single American pilot's name on the list. There are 2,590 American airmen sacrificed with this battle. What a number, shocked. And try to think about how many American airmen to China during that day. Totally is 6,000 to 7,000. And maybe give you more detail about this number. Anybody know that? I think Jeff must know that. People must know that because Jeff is the leader of the American Aviation Association. You must know that. See, what is the current American Air Force airmen currently? How many? How many American airmen in American Air Force currently?
Probably 300,000, about that. About 300,000.
Okay, according to my statistic, it says 12,500 American pilots and co-pilots. We call airmen. Okay, so in other words, during the hemp road, there are almost half of the American pilots support China, right? What a big number. I've been shocked. So that's why I'm thinking we have to make the movie. Let more and more people realize that. Okay? And just like the chairman of Yuqing said, according to her state numbers, just found by this trip to China, even more about that. I've been more shocked about that. So I would like to have everybody in this room remember, we American, we Chinese must work together, make more peaceful world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Chen Boping. Let's give the mic to Chairman Yu Qing for the last word. And then I understand, Mr. Chen, you have a portrait. Okay.
Good evening. I'm very, very happy. I'm glad to hear. This is my honor because, I work at Organized Flying Tiger Association. It's almost 10 years. This is my dream. I'm come from the Nanjing. So Nanjing has the biggest memorial hall. So Nanjing Memorial Hall has over 2,000 pilots sacrificed in China. So I think I have a job, bring the American Flying Tiger in World War II story to my home, in the Los Angeles, because it's too many young people didn't know U.S. China history in World War II. Today I'm very happy because I make a dream. This is my dream. So today, almost I have 50 children coming. So now, this is children. This is a feature. American U.S. friendship is a feature. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Anybody enjoying this event? So now I want to tell Mayor McMillan. Mayor McMillan, I give the gift. Every time Mayor McMillan come here, I give the gift. Yeah, because Mayor McMillan, this Los Angeles, China friendship is pioneered in World War II. So I'm very, very respect Mayor McMillan. So could you somebody bring the certificate? Sherry? McMillan, I bring the certificate to you. This is Ingo. And now it's Flying Tiger print. So every time I made this certificate. So take a picture, please. Oh, yes, beautiful. Together, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, thank you. Together. 来，一起往前。Together. Together. Come here.
Thank you. And I understand Director Chen Guoping also has a painting to present to our hero.
Yes. Catherine. Catherine. 那是。来，一起说。你说几句，来，说几句。我帮你拿着，我先站在那边。
OK。
我给你拿着。
Yeah. This paint, Chinese paint, is a very good symbolic of the flying tiger. As you can see, the tigers are not sitting, sleeping, it's flying. So I think it's perfect for the hero of tonight's event. So I would like to present to Chairman Yu Qing, and also together we present to our hero. Is that good? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Director Chen. And I want Professor Zhou Xiaoshong get ready for your painting.
Have a seat, please.
周教授有没有在现场？
哦 ，take a seat， 你到哪个？哦，你坐在这儿，你坐这，你坐这。
Foundation to Yi Ching for all the work she does for the community, all the work she does in commemorating the legacy and the history of the Flying Tigers. Yi Ching, I've got my bad leg here. Hang on, let me.
It's okay.
No,
It's okay.
no. Okay. Oh well. Anyway.
I'm this way.
Okay. Thank you, Yi Ching.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Very
Okay.
good.
All right.
Thank you. You give me courage.
I give you.
感谢凯瑟琳，凯瑟琳一直默默无闻，在做着二战的友谊，协助她的先生介夫。她来之前，我们有一个就是100岁的飞行员，他们的视频就是凯瑟琳去做的，所以我们在此感谢她，她为我们这场活动，让我们这场活动更加的精彩和光辉。谢谢。
Thank you。请问 Professor 周晓松有没有在现场 ？Last call。OK， 那就等一下吧。So this concludes our panel discussion. I want to take this opportunity to thank all the panelists. Thank you for your contribution and great sacrifice to making the Flying Tiger spirit strong and forever. So ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause to all the panelists. Thank you. You may now be seated. Thank you so much.在不在？伯利周先生 ，Leslie Bai， 伯利周先生吗？哦 ，OK， 好。听说你也有珍贵的礼物要送给大家。
谢谢，谢谢。Thank you very much. It's a great honor to be here. My name is Leslie Bai, and I'm also from Nanjing. Like the chairman was introduced, Nanjing is suffered a lot. 3,000 civilians was murdered during the World War II. I just want to say one thing. I got just started, 99 years old, still so healthy. I'm, really glad. I recently just opened a indoor golf studio in Orange County. I really welcome everyone be here to come and play. And Flying Tigers, let's fly some golf balls. How was that? So we distribute some of the experience free coupon. Whoever wants it, go check with Anna and all the organization committees. And so we like to invite everyone to be there. Thank you so much.
上去说。
接下来的环节呢，是我们的于青主席要给美国飞虎队传播协会的成员颁发聘书。 好，有请于青主席上台。大家好，我十分感谢我的飞虎
虎队的会员和团队一直支持，默默无闻支持我们这个协会，我非常的感动。我们今天能够今天做这样的一个隆重的纪念驼峰航线的一个以外，我最感谢的人是在幕后默默支持我们飞虎队的会员。那么我现在也想首先要感谢我们的名主持人方磊会长，他一直默默无闻给我们做了很多事情。就像我今天这个晚会，我因为莉莉方磊会长在我身边啊，然后那同时我也想说，我们洛杉矶的这个主持人的这个著名的大律师张军大律师的加持，让我们这个今天的驼峰航线更走向了高大上的一个舞台。啊，那同时我们也感谢凤凰卫视的这名主持人 Olivia 美丽的 Olivia。同时，我们这个主持人团队呢，我们也在培养我们年轻的下一代。所以今天呢，我们也有一位美丽的也特别热爱这个二战历史的 Christina， 她加入了我们团队，感谢她。现在呢，我把我们这一次活动我们的一些感谢的个人荣誉状，请大家上来请大家上来，都上来乌素菲谢蕊吴 Leslie 李英，我看见你了还有不对海冷王段海冷王和你那是生病了，他的那个李英这小子都来，好，我们先来合影。Sherry， 你不能没有你呀，不行的呀。还有 Coco 有女儿，菲菲都上来上来，跟我们来合影来的就完事儿了。不要全包了，就这样子一人拿一张列上去，拿一张，来，都上来。还有晨都来，晨你就先拿着。Angela， 赶紧拿。音响，安娜，你到哪里去了？赵坚老师。谢瑞瑶，你在那一菲那边了，可能拿Leslie，林连连会长，今天我们的南加华联的手特别是您制作的，我们呢请你做荣誉顾问，请你上台好吗？先拿着，快点。公务员。
up, I want to welcome student representatives Vivian Lee, Xian Kai Fan, and Yu Zhang to speak with me. Good evening, distinguished guests, honorees, and fellow attendees. My name is Christina, and I'm a sophomore at Santa Margarita Catholic High School. It is truly an honor to be a part of this event. At school, I'm deeply passionate about medicine, and I'm a devoted player of many sports, including flag football, lacrosse, and basketball. I'm also an active participant in Model United Nations, where I've gained a deeper understanding of global diplomacy and the intricate threads that connect nations and their histories. Therefore, I'm excited to be part of this forum commemorating the Flying Tigers, whose heroic contributions during World War II continue to inspire unity and collaboration between us. Thank you all for being here, and I'm sure this forum will be successful and inspiring.
Can we use that sense? Okay, thank you. Dear veterans, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Xin Tai Fan, and also I do have a nickname. It's called Tiger. It's no Flying Tigers Tiger. It's Tiger Woods Tiger, because my father loves Tiger Woods, so he gave me this nickname. All right, let's go through the topic. Flying Tigers Hump Room Memorial Project. This activity is not only a continuation of history, but also a deep tribute to peace, courage, and sacrifice. The Flying Tigers and the Hump Route are important symbols of the Chinese and American people's joint fight against the aggression during World War II. These historical heroes not only fought for peace for us, but also built a bridge of friendship across nation borders. As young people in the new era, we have a greater responsibility to remember history and pass on the spirit. Participating in the volunteer activities of the Flying Tigers Hump Route has extraordinary significance for young people. First of all, this is a profound patriotic and anti-fascist education. By participating in the commemorative activities, we will have a deeper understanding of that period of war, feel the weight of history and the hard-won peace. The spirit of those pilots who have sacrificed their lives for justice will inspire us to cherish and love today's beautiful life, and to face difficulties without fear of danger when encountering difficulties. Secondly, this is an opportunity to cultivate a sense of responsibility. Volunteer activities not only teach us how to serve the society, but also teach us how to pass on history. By organizing historical materials, by participating in memorial ceremonies, and spreading relevant knowledge, we can learn how to influence others with practical actions, broaden our horizons, and improve our communication and collaboration skills. However, commemoration requires not only our personal participation, but also more actions of our peers. I appeal to everyone here, join us. Join these volunteer activities not only to remember history, but also pass on the spirit of peace. We can form a greater force by sharing our feelings, organizing community activities, and inviting friends around us to join. Let the history of the Flying Tigers Hump Route become a memory that we all protect. And let this spirit infect more people. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and all the veterans. Thank you.
女士们、先生们，今天我们怀着崇敬的心情，回顾二战时期那段不朽的历史——驼峰航线。这是一条贯穿喜马拉雅山脉的生命线，是中美两国在艰难岁月里团结合作的象征。在抗日战争中最艰苦的时期，中国陷入物资极度短缺的困境，而美国勇敢地伸出援手，为中国提供了至关重要支持。通过驼峰航线，美国飞行员克服了重重险阻，将数万吨军需物资运抵中国，为抗战的胜利注入了力量。所以，我们应当铭记这段历史，珍惜中美之间的友谊，将驼峰航线的精神化为行动，把无私、勇敢和友爱传递给下一代。谢谢大家。
Hi, my name is Vivian, and today we gather to honor the brave veterans that served in World War II. Their courage, sacrifice, and unyielding during hard times changed the course of history and secured freedom we cherish today. These veterans faced unimaginable hardships, yet they stood firm, not for glory, but for the greater good. Their service serves as a reminder that our peace and liberty in our country should never be taken for granted, and to our veterans we offer the deepest gratitude. Your bravery inspires, and your sacrifice is humble. And today we pledge to honor and uphold the values that you fought for, and thank you for your service.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, honorees and fellow attendees. My name is Christina, and I'm a sophomore at Santa Margarita Catholic High School. It is truly an honor to be a part of this event. At school, I am deeply passionate about medicine, and I'm a devoted player of many sports, including flag football, lacrosse, and basketball. I'm also an active participant in Model United Nations, where I've gained a deeper understanding of global diplomacy and the intricate threads that connect nations and their histories. Therefore, I'm excited to be part of this forum commemorating the Flying Tigers, whose heroic contributions during World War II continue to inspire unity and collaboration between us. Thank you all for being here, and I'm sure this forum will be successful and inspiring. The song.
All right, thank you， 非常感谢我们的学生们。那么现在呢，接下来也是关于青少年的一场演绎，欢迎加州创意表演艺术中心的青少年们共同上台演唱《友谊地久天长》。欢迎 Jaden Chen、Harper Wang、Angel Lee、Ivy Huang 作为领唱率先上台，有请加州创意表演艺术中心的所有成员们，谢谢。来，我们掌声欢迎他们。
你先。
站麦啊！不要别。
拿手上，就是给看，给三，还有3个来，拿手上，谁唱的好？来，哎，还有一个，那个还少一个话筒，还少一个，话筒还要吗？还有一个按钮，还要吗？啊，音乐起，接在那边 ，OK。
Hello.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for the wonderful performance.
谢谢我们可爱的孩子们。
请大家再次热烈掌声鼓励一下我们的下一代的 Chinese Americans. What a wonderful performance you have given.
好，感谢。好，也再次感谢各位嘉宾的出席，让我们急着友谊地久天长，让我们的飞虎精神永存下去。
我们明年见，祝大家晚安。
Lastly, I want to thank all the veterans for coming here today. Their powers truly inspire me. Thank you.
谢谢大家，也祝大家圣诞快乐，友谊地久天长。谢谢，再见。
谢谢，再见。
再见。主席辛苦。